First up in news, Resolution L1 titled Promoting Reconciliation, Accountability and Human Rights in Sri Lanka was adopted at the 40th session of the United Nations Human Rights Council a short while ago. The resolution, presented by a core group including the United Kingdom and co-sponsored by Sri Lanka, was passed without a vote.
The resolution, titled Resolution L1, is an extension of the resolution passed on Sri Lanka in 2015, citing promotion of reconciliation, accountability and human rights. This resolution, brought forward by a core group led by Great Britain and co-sponsored by Sri Lanka, grants Sri Lanka a 2-year extension to fulfill the commitments made in 2015. While a number of efforts taken by Sri Lanka in fulfilling their commitments were commended, Sri Lanka were urged to fulfill their remaining obligations on a time-bound basis.
I have the honour to introduce Draft Resolution L1 entitled Promoting Reconciliation, Accountability and Human Rights in Sri Lanka. The resolution acknowledged some very real achievements against these commitments over the last 2 years. It also recognises that in a number of important areas, implementation remains work in progress. The resolution encourages Sri Lanka to accelerate its efforts to achieve full implementation of the 2015 undertakings and to set out a time-bound implementation plan to help it to make progress. It requests OHCHR to continue to strengthen its engagement with Sri Lanka and requests annual reporting by the Office of the High Commissioner for a further 2 years. The main sponsors of this resolution warmly welcome Sri Lanka's co-sponsorship of the draft resolution and its public affirmation that it remains determined to deliver on the commitments it has already made to this body. As partners and friends of Sri Lanka, we stand ready to support Sri Lanka as it does so. We hope that this draft can be adopted with the support of all members of this Council.
Minister of Foreign Affairs Tilak Marapana called for more cooperation between the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights and local agencies while thanking the Council for their support.
Mr. President, the Government of Sri Lanka considers Resolution 40/L1 mandating an extension of 2 years until March 2021 to make further progress on human rights, reconciliation and accountability as a mark of recognition of Sri Lanka's political commitment and the progressive steps already taken by the government since 2015. Sri Lanka's open and constructive approach towards the work of this Council is well acknowledged. We have engaged with all 7 core treaty bodies, the UPR, and have also facilitated 8 visits by special procedures mandate holders and independent experts, resulting in a total of over 1,000 recommendations for expeditious implementation by Sri Lanka. Mr. President, as I put on record before this Council yesterday, we have to set our priorities right, and we are committed to find innovative and pragmatic solutions to protect the country's national interest and the well-being of all Sri Lankans alike. Guided by the provisions of the supreme law of the land, the Constitution, Sri Lanka's co-sponsorship of this year's resolution assures to all concerned persons, the Sri Lankan society at large, and to all our interlocutors outside the country, that we will continue to move forward within these parameters to ensure eventual closure. Mr. President, we welcome the assistance and the cooperation we have received from partners as required and invite the OHCHR to engage closely with the relevant local institutions and independent bodies, including the National Human Rights Commission, in verifying facts on ground, which will help OHCHR to provide more objective and realistic assessment on the progress made in Sri Lanka and on its genuine challenges to this Council next year. In conclusion, Mr. President, Sri Lanka takes this opportunity to appreciate the efforts of the members of the core group and thank all members of this Council for supporting a consensus outcome today.